So everything in between A and B, those are retracement levels. I like to think of them as entry levels, right? Everything outside of A and B here are take profit levels. So theoretically, we pulled back to a red level, right? You see that right here. So theoretically, our take profit is at the red level. Hey, y'all, this is Casey. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to take a look at USDCHF today. I'm going to do a multiple time frame analysis. If you're new to the channel, that means that I am going to go through each time frame, identify the high probability areas where price tends to reverse, and then we're going to figure out what the potential move in the market is, if there is one, and how we will execute on it. So I am starting off on the monthly time frame, and I've identified my swing highs and swing lows. If you don't know what that is, make sure you click the link in the video description to go through the no-cost mini course so that you can learn a little bit more about that, what that is. That's also going to help you follow through the rest of my markups. So I try to put out videos on a pretty regular basis. The last, I would say 3 weeks or so has been a bit of a challenge, but we're back. So in it, I walk through what I'm doing step by step. And if you are not familiar with my approach, then you don't know what it is that I'm doing. So check that out. I finished up the monthly, and what I did was just check to make sure that what I identified was the same thing that the system had, and it is. And so I'm going through on the weekly to look and see if I have any fresh levels there. I don't see that I have any new support, and I also don't see that I have any new resistance other than what we've already chosen. And so what I will do, and I missed one right here, right in front of my face. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this the color that I use for my weekly, and then I'm gonna go down to the daily, and we got a ton of levels here. So I'm gonna knock these off. I'm gonna put my daily color and go from there. Now I see, let's see, we got a level of support here. We got a level of resistance here. And I think, oh, we got a level here. Okay. So I think I'm good. I'm gonna double check. We're just gonna check smart resistance, and yeah, it doesn't even go that high. So that was a support 11. It looks like there are 2 levels right here, very close, right on top of each other. I got those, and there's another double one here. So we'll get that. I'm gonna move. There we go. So I think I'm good there. I'm gonna go down to the 4-hour, and after I finish this, what I'm gonna do is take a look at the fib sequence. So if you are unfamiliar with Fibonacci, or you've used it in the past, you may not use it in the way that I do. So I encourage you to stick through all the way to the end of the video so you can see how I'm going to apply it and how fibs can tell you where to get in, where to get out, and save you a whole lot of headache and heartache, right? So it definitely helps you understand the overall move of the market. And what I'm doing now, I'm just going through identifying my levels on the 4-hour of where I am. Let me go back. Did I miss something? Let me go back to daily. Guess I did. Or did I? I did. This is a daily support level. Did I turn on support here? Smart support. Yep, that's the daily level. So let me turn this red. So you see I'm color coding like the levels that I'm on, so that when I pull up the chart, I know when we're approaching like a big time level, significant level. That way I can execute and do what I need to do. This is on the 4-hour. This will be a low when the market opens. So I'm going to turn this, and I believe we're good. So I'm gonna double check. And what it's doing is picking up the old level. So I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in this right here. All right, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go back to the monthly. And I'm going to look at my most recent significant movement in the market. And the most recent significant movement in the market is here. So I'm going to click above the last high. This is the active fib. We have an A high, a B low. We have a 38.2 pullback with strong monthly support. You see we tried to break this level 3 times and it just hasn't happened. I'm going to go ahead and mark off my D extension. And so this will be my monthly D extension. Now, I want you to tell me in the chat, or not the chat, what is it? The comment section, if you're familiar with how I'm using the fib. If you're not, let me know that too. Oh, this should be orange. So if you're not, let me know that too. But to explain it to you real quick, this thing is amazing, right? So what I did was fib helps me understand the overall direction of the market and the areas where price can potentially reverse. And so it measures swing highs and swing lows. So we have an A high, we have a B low, we have pullback levels. So everything in between A and B, those are retracement levels. I like to think of them as entry levels, right? Everything outside of A and B here are take profit levels. So theoretically, we pulled back to a red level, right? You see that right here. So theoretically, our take profit is at the red level. Now, what I'm doing is I'm identifying on every single time frame where that take profit level is and where a potential entry level is based off the higher time frame. So I know it might seem a little bit confusing now, but this really boils down to fractals, right? So everything on this chart, each candle represents a month's worth of price action. What we're going to do is I'm going to go down to the weekly. Now that I've done this, I'm going to the weekly and I'm going to measure the movement again. So this is the same fib, right? Well, not exactly, because we see that our take profit is, I just moved it. Hold on. Let me go up one. Go to the monthly. I just moved my take profit. Oh, I put it back. I put it back right. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the weekly. And this is the active fib. Active fib is A high, B low. The deepest part of the pullback in the Lord have mercy if I could think. Deepest part of pullback after the B, it looks like we hit that 786. And so our D extension, let's see what the high is. 234. This is 202. So we definitely hit that. Our D extension sits just outside of that daily level. So I'm gonna mark this off. For the weekly, this is our weekly D extension. Right. So there we go. Our weekly D extension. All right. So this is the overall target that I'll be working to take profit at, right? So on the higher time frame, the move is still down. We still have an active fib. So I'm going to delete this. Oh no, we'll leave it up. I'll go to the next chart. I got to remind myself. So what I do is I have several different charts so I can see every perspective as I move through the analysis. So that was a weekly. I'm going to go to the highest point. I'm going to click the fib and we're going to go here. So this is the current active fib, right, on this time frame. And so what it looks like we have happening right now, we hit the D extension. This was back at the April. So April, we hit the D extension and it looks like we oversold on USDCHF. And so now I want to see not only the fib, I'm going to throw on array as my trend line because I need a little bit more information, right? So I'm going from swing high to swing high. And I am just looking. This looks like it fits. For the move to the upside, because we formed a level of support, right, off of this daily level. and we got a swing low. Looks like we got a bullish break to the upside. So I'm going to click below my last low to get an understanding of this time frame and the current target for this time frame. So this is a daily. So I'm going to label this the daily D extension. And I'm going to code it or color it the same color as the rest of the daily lows. So you see over here says daily D extension. And so from where price currently is right now, this is 240, let's just call it 240 pips away. So I'm going to drill down though. So we're going to go to the 4, and actually I'm going to label this link lower. So what I'm doing is I'm linking my trend lines to the lower time frame so that they can be on my 4-hour chart, because the 4-hour likely is where I'm looking for the setup at, right? So I'm going to go in here to my 4, and based on this 4-hour, let me unlock this. Based on this 4-hour, my D extension sits here, 844 and some change. So we'll call this 4-hour D extension. And we'll do that. All right. So now, since we know that the move is to the upside, right? Now it's trying to figure out how we get in to the move. So looking at where price currently is, this is only 168 pips. Hold on. Let's see. I need to drill down to figure out where we're going. So I'm going to go to the 1. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the 15. And what I'm checking to see is if we've hit the D extension to the downside, which we have here. But there is an active fib, which makes me think that we might revisit this low before we see the move to the upside. So let me delete this. So now why do I think that? Because this is the active fib to the downside. We pull back to an 8.6 level. So it would be my thought that we're coming back to this 118D extension, which is the matching extension for this before we see the move to the upside. So this could be tradable, but I'm really interested in the move to the upside. Let me see how many pips this is to the downside. Yeah, it's not that many pips. It's like 80 pips. So the way I would set this up is I would draw my stop loss. I need to go to the higher time frame to see where my last low is. My last low is here, but I'm looking left. That might be a bit too much. My entry is a little lower, so I'll bring it down here. That covers that. I'm gonna drag this over. And then I am anticipating price to push up to this level. So I'm going to draw out my TP. And we're going to make this green. And then we'll color this. All right. So if we do get that push back down, right, into this buy zone, I think we can anticipate about 200 or so pips. There is a possibility though, because looking at this on this time frame, the 1 hour, this is A, B, 618 pullback. We may push down to 1813, but we got a daily level of support. So I could see the possibility of price taking off from that daily level, rejecting off that daily level. I think there's a possibility though that we could come down and touch the D extension, finishing out the sequence before making the move to the upside. But I would only be interested in this. Like if we did get price to push down, then I'd be looking for a buy stop. So that means once we cross this level, I'd be looking for a buy for the move to the upside. So those are the two possibilities that I see for this. Setting it up, if you're going to be trading it manually, making sure that you have your trend lines in play, right? So from swing high to swing high, and looking for your bullish break to the upside and your backside retest. So it looks like this is getting ready to push down off of this time frame. I am curious off of, yeah, okay. So we'll see what happens. So to recap, to look at our levels, I'm expecting price to push down. I would like to see it stay above the daily level at 81859, but the matching D extension for the current Fib sequence is at 81395. Our daily D or 4-hour D extension sits at 84480. Our daily D extension sits just a little bit higher. I don't think I transferred it down to this chart, but I seem to remember 85. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Did I mark it? Yeah, your daily is at 85187, but you got to take this in bite-sized pieces, right? So the first stop is 84423, and then if you wanted to swing it that long, I wouldn't do it necessarily. I would take it into 2 trades. It would be that 85 number. Overall, risk to reward on this one can potentially be good. If we do dip down to this lower level here, I would just look to place my stop below the last low and go from there. Let me know what you guys think about USDCHF. Are you bullish on it as well? I know you guys, I've explained that I am a technical trader, incorporating fundamentals into my analysis, given that there is a 90-day pause. CHF being a safe haven currency, I would imagine that it would be weaker against the US dollar in these times, which supports the idea for a potential buy. So let me know what you think. If you like what you watched, I would encourage you to go to the no cost mini course. Make sure that you check it out. I think it will provide a lot of insight into how I analyze the charts so that when I upload the next video, you can follow along and understand exactly what I mean. All right.